Hi, good evening, and welcome to this live video where I'm actually going to record the hotness of some chilies that are in front of me. Now, these admittedly are supermarket chilies, so I can't absolutely say. I'm just trying to remember what the variety is, but it actually slipped me for a second. But they're from a supermarket. They're not going to be sort of super hot chilies. They may sort of advertise them as being super hot, but they won't necessarily be super hot. But anyway, they have them in front of me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live demonstration of the food sensor generation 4 and its ability to measure the hotness of chilies. And if you're interested in this technology, then you can contact us through the website. So let me just jump into it now, and I'm going to do everything live in front of you, so it may be a little bit scrappy. But what I'll do is I'm just going to grab a really just a kitchen grade food blender. So I'll just sort of bring it into shot. I'll get these chilies into here. I've got an excess of chilies, so I thought, okay, let's make one more video and use up these chilies before they. Maybe I've put a little too many in there. That could be a case, and actually it could cause me to cough and sneeze quite a bit. But I'm going to do it because I do have all these chilies. And I will blend them. I'm going to be very careful when I open this because, to be frank with you, there could be actually quite a lot of pungency. So I've done that. Maybe I could chop those a little bit finer, and maybe I will. So just one more go around that. All right, that's probably good enough. I'll leave the lid on for a second, and I'll just move it out of shot because what I want to do is I want to weigh out. So I'm actually just reaching down to get a weighing boat pretty quickly because I want to weigh out about 100 milligrams of that. So I'm just going to get some bit of weighing paper, and then I will weigh it out. As I say, I'm doing this everything live, so you can kind of get a real sense of how to do this. All right, so I've got that there. I'm just going to turn that on and turn that off just to kind of tear. When I say tear, it just sort of zero that in. Right, that is quite strong because I've got quite a few in there. And I'd like to be in a slightly more better ventilated area. But that said, let's do this. And I'll try and get through this without coughing too much. That's the first cough. What I'm trying to do is avoid too many seeds because seeds don't have any capsaicin in them. So it'll be easy to weigh out seeds, but then I'll end up not giving a lot of justice, let's say, to the chilies themselves. Now I really wanted 100 milligrams. To be fair, I've actually put 112 on there, but I'm going to accept that now because I want to kind of, I want to make a fairly good, fast video. So I'm more interested in actually showing you the kind of workflow of this. Sorry, I'm just quickly going to, What I'm now do is, I've got 112 there. I'm just going to get one of these little vials. I'm going to cover this up so I minimize the amount of coughing I do around here. I'll cover that up and I'll get this material and I'll try and get it into this little vial, which I'm now doing. All right, so I did put 112 in there when really I should have put like 100. So that will give me about a 12% error approximately. I'm going to accept that error, but if I was really trying to do this properly, then I would have taken off the extra 12 milligrams. But I wanted to kind of be fairly efficient with the time that I'm doing now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some buffer. So we do have some chili buffer here. I'll just put a little bit in here. There it goes. All right, come on. Right, okay. I just want 900 microliters of buffer. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a pipette and I'll just do this quickly. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, all right, so I prepared that sample. I might show it now. So I've prepared the sample. It's probably worth saying you can sort of see the bits in there. Now I've got fairly fine cut on that, It means I've got a lot of surface area, so I should be able to extract the capsaicin out of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move a few things out of the way to kind of give myself the space in order to show you the next stage that I'm going to do now, which is just bring in this vortex for a second and just vortex this sample up. Now I may do this for I probably want to do this for possibly up to a minute actually, because the longer I vortex, then the more capsaicin I will extract and the more accurate my final result will actually be. So let me just do a quick summary so far. So I chopped up the chilies, I chopped them up in front of you. I just took everything I had and just put it all in there and chopped it up because I wanted to get rid of it. I weighed out, I was trying to weigh out 100 milligrams, but I weighed out 112 milligrams. But I have a couple of seeds in here, so maybe the extra 12 milligrams is the seeds. Seeds don't contain much capsaicin, at least that's the dogma. And the nice thing about the Food Science Generation 4, that's actually testable, but I'm not going to test it tonight. So what I then took is I took that 112 milligrams, I put it in a little vial, I've put it with 900 microliters of buffer, and now I'm vortexing it for approximately 1 minute, which I may be just about there now. And now I'll move the vortexer out of the shot. I'll reach out and I'll grab a fresh sensor. So I'll put the sensor on like this. Right, so that's that. I'm just going to name this so I can actually find it later on in the cloud. Now I'm going to call this green chilies because they were actually green chilies. And I did a 1 in 10 dilution, which is fine. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a 50 microliter pipette and take 50 microliters of this and put it onto the sensor, which I will now do. Which is done. And what I will do then is I will go continue. 1 in 10 dilution, yep, that's what I used, 1 in 10 dilution, start measurement, and off it goes. Now sometimes people expect chilies to be really a lot hotter than they actually are. I just don't think supermarkets will sell you super hot chilies. They may put hot on the package, but they're really not going to sell you, super hot chili. But as it is, it says it says upload complete, too high, dilute more. So let's just have a quick look at what that means. So good thing about Food Science Generation 4 is, just out of interest, you can see the word Red Bull here because I was actually using this to detect caffeine in Red Bull earlier on. Different conversation, but it's actually capable of doing caffeine as well. But let's just go back to reports here. Just do a quick refresh. And then here's the green chilies here. So let's have a quick look at this data. The really wonderful thing about Food Science Generation 4 is it's not just gives you results, it actually saves all the data up to the cloud. Yeah, so I can see it's a little bit intense there. Quite a high signal, not super high, but what it says is, and I'll sort of hold this up so you can see this clearly, it does instruct me what to do. And this sometimes, it says, upload complete, too high, dilute more. So it actually wants me to do an extra dilution, which I will now do. So you will see me do that live in front of you now. Okay. So too high, dilute more, no problems. I will get 100 microliters, which I will do. I'm just going to give this a quick vortex because I really want this homogeneous when I take this sample. So maybe I'll bring the vortex. Well, I'll vortex for just 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I just vortex that up quickly because I just want to make sure that was homogeneous. Now I'm going to go in. Take 100 microliters. I've got my 100 microliters. I'll put it into my little vial here. Done. Right, I'll put that down. Now I want 900 microliters of the buffer. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking something that's diluted 1 in 10 and I'm diluting it another 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. All right, that's all done. Right, I'm going to put a fresh sensor in here. So I'll take that sensor out. I will put a fresh sensor in. So on it goes. Right, I'll give this a quick vortex, though. To be fair, it's so there's not much solid in that, so it really probably doesn't need that much vortexing. But just for homogeneous, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now I'm going to put 50 microliters onto the sensor again. So I'll just do is I'm just going to label this up. This is the green chilies, but I've actually now done a 1 in 100 dilution, so that will help me later on. Then I'll be able to find that 1 in 100. I'll put the sample on like that, which I've now done. Right, so I've named it 100 so I can find it. Good. I'll go continue. I'll make sure I choose the 1 in 100, which I have done. Hit start and off it goes. So it's gathering the data now. It'll process the data, give me a result, and also save the result automatically to the cloud as well. This is really designed for sort of businesses. It's not really it's definitely not a home use device. And it's come back and it's given me a Scoville Heat Unit of 9,350. Now people say, oh, that's very mild. Look, when people are quoting the hotness of chilies, they are not quoting the wet weight. Remember, I took fresh chilies and I ground them. These fresh chilies contain 90% water. So if I was to dry this chili out, yes, I would actually report 93,500. But when people are reporting chilies online and the hotness of chilies, like in the Guinness Book of World Records, they have the Pepper X, which is about 2.6 million Scoville Heat Units. But the fresh pepper itself will be more like 200,000 to 260,000 Scoville Heat Units because 90% of it is water. So when people are quoting these values online and talk about hotness of chilies, they're actually talking about the dry weight, but this is the wet weight because that chili was, they were effectively fresh. So the wet weight for these chilies is, or the wet value for this is 9,250. I would predict if we desiccated this and did this again, or desiccated the chilies and did it again, that would actually come back at 93,500. But I just want to kind of share my screen with you for a second, which is here. So this is the 1 in 10, but then we actually diluted it. The app rather told us to do a 1 in 100. So let's just have a quick look at that data. So just do a quick refresh here. Here it comes, 1 in 100. The wet weight. This is the wet sample because it's 90% water. Still see these intense signals for chili. Peak 1, peak 2, and peak 3 for capsaicin rather. There's the peak there. There's the value there. So this is really for a business because with a business then you can sort of see the sample name, time at which I did the experiment, the data which I did the experiment, the operator, the raw signal, and you can also then export it as a PDF because obviously many businesses kind of need a kind of record, a certificate of analysis, and so you can generate a certificate of analysis by doing that, and then you'll get the you get a PDF saved as well. So in summary, I took those fairly fresh green chilies, I chopped them up in front of you. I tried to weigh at 100 milligrams per, I tried to weigh at 100 milligrams, but I actually got 112, but just forgive me, it only puts a sort of 12% error on, which I wouldn't normally want to do. I'd want to take it off, but there were a couple of seeds in there, so I suspect a couple of seeds were, would account for some of that slight excess. I diluted it in 900 microliters. I ran it, but the app said, no, still too concentrated. So I did another 1 in 10 dilution of the original 1 in 10, which brought it to 1 in 100, and we got the final result of 9,350. That was on a wet weight, and if you were otherwise looking this up online, you would often see it would be like 93,500, but that's the desiccated dry weight. And people, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding on this. But if you do have any questions regarding food sensitization 4, don't hesitate to contact us. Okay, thanks very much.